Hi, my name's Jamie Lee Jones. I'm the Sales Director from Long Range Systems UK Limited, and today we're at Marks & Spencer's in Woolstanton, Stoke-on-Trent. We're going to take you through our preferred way to do the table tracker system, step by step. As you can see, we have table tracker here, display screen behind me, and we're going to take you through this step by step. Hi, here we have the table tracker touchscreen display, and you'll see step by step from the customer ordering from the till right through to the food being delivered.
Hi, you're right there.
Hi.
What can I get for you?
Could I have a cup of tea and a piece of toast, please?
Yeah, of course you can. Anything else?
No thanks.
Do you have a Sparks card?
Yes.
Would you mind putting it on the side for me? There you go. Place that on your table when you get to it and bring it over to you, okay? We just have to pay as well. It's £3.95 then, please.
Right there, cup of tea. Yes, thank you. Okay, just take a sip and we'll bring the food to you when it's ready. Enjoy.
The table tracker is put on the table.
On white toast.
Thank you.
There you
So we're ready to treat the table.
Knife for you. Just take that
Thank you.
for you. Thank you very much.
And serve it right. And here's the table tracker being cleared with the standard clearing unit. Table tracker ticked off, scanned by the clearing unit. Clear the table tracker. When you first start a table tracker, this is what happens. You'll notice that it appears on the screen, and the customer will then take it and put it on their table. Let's start a few. Now we have this set up very fast so that you can see what happens. They're all green. Customer will sit on various tables. They're the table numbers you can see. If I take the meal to a customer, I take the tracker and clear it. Notice the top unit has turned yellow. That's we've got it set up at 45 seconds. Obviously your times will be longer. Both of those are now over 45 seconds. But at 90 seconds, I think it's 5 or 6 or 7 minutes at M&S. Ask your manager. You'll find that they turn red. So as long as you're keeping a record of where you are with these, you can see on screen whether they're green, yellow or red. We'll let this one run till red. The others have been collected with the food. And you'll see that it will turn red. And when you've got new units coming on, those times are being tracked and recorded, so you can get a proper idea of what the actual delivery time for food is. In some cafes, instead of having complete under-table tags, we have a plaque that fits on the top of the table, and the idea is that the customer places the table tracker onto this plaque. If they place it anywhere else on this type of system, it doesn't work properly and won't be responded to from the screen. So ensure that the customer is actually placing it on the plaque if there is a plaque, and if not, on the table. Here's an example of a Z node that you'll find around the premises, and that you should know where they are, because if these units stop working, then your table tracker might have problems. You'll notice on this one very clearly that there is a flashing green light. If your light's blue or red or any other colour, this is not connected to the system and you will need to call LRS. When it's green like this, green means go. It's connected, it's working, and your system will be fine. This is a portable clearing unit. These are often worn in the pocket by cafeteria colleagues when they've delivered the food. This is the unit that's used to cancel the table tracker so that you get a more accurate time representation of the delivery. This is a typical stack of table trackers on charge, and you can see here that there's a red light. This red light denotes that this system is being charged, it's on charge. It's important that these stay on charge, and if they're on charge overnight, this red light will turn to a green light by tomorrow. But if you just put them on charge for an hour or something like that, then this will remain red. These two pins here are charging pins. And this pin here is actually a locating pin. But it's important that these pins are kept clean on the top and also underneath. And we're going to show you how you actually clean these pins. It will do no harm at all and will save problems with batteries sometime down the road. You'll notice down at the bottom we've got a power supply connected to this charging point. Well, there's another charging point here. Never connect two at once because that could create massive problems. But you can use either one to charge. If we were to pull this out now and place it in the other, you'll see that it will continue. But never, as I said, use two. Also note that you shouldn't stack more than 15 units high. Taking a quick look at underneath the table tracker, you can see that the charging points here and here can be exposed to grime that can get into the little holes, and it's typical that really you need to be able to clean them out on a regular basis to avoid any battery charging problems later down the road. It won't make much difference, you know, if you don't clean them today and you go 2 or 3 days without cleaning them, but it's good practice to actually clean these on a regular basis. In fact, I'd clean all 3 of those, the 2 we showed you plus the one at the top. Here. Here's an example of a table tracker that's been returned to LRS with dirty charging contacts. You can see very clearly that there's loads of dirt that's got inside here, and even in this side, but less so. This causes problems with things like batteries long term. If you keep them clean, you won't have a problem. If you don't, well, then they'll come back eventually to us. Here's a cotton bud that's typical of the type that you could use for cleaning the contacts. Clean the contacts like this. And while you may not see any difference in the cleanliness with your eyes, factually that connector will be much cleaner. And as for the other side, just get your cotton bud and just clean over the surface like that. If you want to use some type of cleaning material, you can do that, but be very careful because remember they are electrical contacts. Our advice, if you want to use anything for cleaning, would be some form of alcohol used in your industry. As you saw in the video for best practices, actually at an M&S store, we used a starter unit to start the table tracker. You do it like this. It will vibrate. You see the light flash green, and now you can hand that to the customer. That's how a starter's used. And here's a clearing unit that's used if you don't use portable clearing units. Most M&Ss do have portable clearing units, but if you don't have one of those or they've been lost, the standard clearing unit is used like this. When you've collected the table tracker back from the customer, bring it across to the clearing unit, place it on there, you'll see that it vibrates and a green light appeared, and now you can put that back onto the stack. Here's one example of an under table tag. This is for table number 17. You'll find that every tag that we ever send out, if you request any for replacements, you'll always find have been pre-programmed for the necessary table. So don't fit this tag, for example, under table 25, because that could be a problem. Well, it will be a problem. If it says 17 on it, that's the table it needs to go on. And it's always better not to crisscross these with other tags. It's always better not to overlap these tags when you're fitting them. They simply peel off like this, and you stick them under the table. We also have another type of table tag these days, and you can see on this one it comprises of 10 tags, all on one sheet. So again, what you would do with this is peel off and stick the whole thing under the table. They are programmed or pre-programmed when you receive them. This is for table 19, but you can actually cut between these if you want to, ensuring that you don't actually cut into the tags. Very simple to use. If you get any major problem with them, just, you can stick new ones on. We don't see many of these getting lifted off by customers. With some of the round ones you may, but very, very simple to replace in either case. And these ones are waterproof. Here's another close-up of the dongle that's used on the table tracker, and it's just used in any old USB port. If you do pull it out at any time, it's always best to put it back into the same port if you can, but plugging it into a different port, the system will still work if it's been restarted.
As you can see, with a touch of the button, you can go into all of the reporting, and we're going to take you through this step by step now.
Taking one look at the screen with the table trackers actually in operation, it's a simple matter to hop across to reporting, like this. When you're in the reporting screen, across the top row, you've got last month, last week, today, this week, and this month. And also an option there for custom settings with a start and end date, like so. We're able to choose the dates from a calendar. So we can easily select a different date, if necessary. So let's choose a today at the top. That's today's report, and along the bottom where it says show reports we have a number of options. All this reporting actually is very, very simple. It does what it says on the button. So if we look at the left hand side, response time report by hour, or response time by day of the week, or order details, table usage, total tables, delivery time, occupied tables, or a trend report. And looking at the screen that's there, at first sight it looks very complex, but in reality it's very simple. So you can choose last month, last week, today, week, this month, with custom dates, and then the reports along the bottom. There are 3, there are 6, there's 8 altogether. The reports along the bottom, there are 8 altogether. So you can choose whatever you like, and don't forget you can just whip straight back to the orders. Nothing's lost. They're still there. Go back to reporting again, and we're where we left off. So let's take a quick look at these reports. Let's choose today. And I just want to tell you that this system isn't actually a live system, so you won't see any actual data, but you will see the results. So if we were to choose response time report by hour, there are the results. It's that simple. And to go back, we just simply click back on reports, and we're back to where we were. So we can choose another, maybe order details, third one along, and we'd have a list down there, assuming your system's live, which yours are. This is just a demonstration system, but you can see how easy it is to go back to reports again and go back to orders. Nothing's lost. Now, one other thing, If you notice across the bottom of the screen, we've got orders, we've got tables, we've got reports and configuration. The only areas that you'd ever really want to go into is orders or reports. Anything else is really out of bounds for this particular installation, version 2 Table Tracker, unless you are an expert, which you're not. So the best practice advice is to stay away from the tables button. There's nothing in there even if you go, and stay away from the configuration. And on the configuration, I might add that you need a passcode to get in there. Lastly, we're showing here the version of Table Tracker that is generally currently installed at M&S sites, and that's shown on the screen for you to know which version you're on, which could be important at some stage. We do from time to time automatically upgrade these softwares, but we're always checking the systems remotely where we can to ensure that there's no problems, and if there are any problems, we're here to help.